Okay. Let us go. Right. Picking up from last time, you guys had made your way. Well, three of you had made your way to Crumden. You finally had reached while Milo, who has always been living there, is still living there. So he was just kind of vibing. You entered town. It was eerily quiet, despite it only really just getting to like the sunset period. And no one was really there to greet you, even though you expected there to be some people. You eventually did see two figures, but they split and ran. They were walking strangely. And then you finally found someone to speak to by the name of not Flynn, by the name of Braylon. Braylon Helson, a local apothecary-ist. I don't know what the proper word for that is. Botanist, medicine person, etc., etc., etc. You guys then helped find the people that split. They were suffering from some sort of illness, which Ivan did introspect into a bit and found out that it was something parasitic of nature, something spirit of nature. And after successfully finding everyone, Milo did finally meet the other people of the campaign. But soon after, you went to bed. And that's what we're gonna pick up in the morning. So you guys are in the you guys wake up in the like inn that you've got. There's still no staff member at the time, which you do find odd. Let me apologies, I'm just trying to alter some settings. There we go. You do wake up in the inn. It's quite a comfortable inn, but yes, it is still unmanned. I will say in the morning, Ivan and Thandor, you feel like slightly nauseous. Not an overwhelming amount, more like a morning sickness type thing, but you feel just a little bit nauseous as you wake up.
We're pregnant.
Yes, that is what's happening. Yes.
I like the implication that Thandor was able to identify that, so he's been pregnant before.
Obviously.
As you can tell, Jack, by the fact that my voice was not the Fandor voice, the singular Fandor voice. That is out of character.
Okay, so Karen's been pregnant before. Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
But you all awake. Milo, I don't think, is sleeping in the inn, sleeping elsewhere. But I don't think we have a location on map for his current abode. So I'll let you put
Pick a house
yourself
to move into.
somewhere. Yeah, I'll let you put yourself somewhere.
I get to be anywhere. God, this is a difficult one. Can I come back to this later?
Yes.
Okay,
Speaking
awesome.
of which, there's a bit of homework for two of you. Homework to not at home and what? Well, I mean you are at home technically. Milo, I would like the names of your at least the two, the pigeon and the toad that remain with you at all times.
Yes.
And Flynn, I'm very tired of saying
Yes.
silver iron alloy.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's a very
Alloy.
from what I looked into, there isn't really an official alloy, recognized alloy of silver and iron. So I will let you think of like a fantasy metal name for that.
Okie dokie. I will do that.
Besides that, you all have awoken. Coming up to actually, where would these are like twin bedroom rooms. So would Ivan and Thandor be staying in the same room?
I imagine so, even if Thandor doesn't want that. I think because we are like basically the leaders of the troop. It makes sense for us to like be together to brainstorm, and for Ivan to keep you awake long into the night with my inane ideas.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Uh,
Sure.
you hear a knock at your door.
Hello? Come in.
Door swings open and you see Max Chipley. Just kind of signing the door, opens the door and looks to both of you and says, we don't have any staff members around, but Braylon, I believe his name was, came around and mentioned that him and someone by the name of Danelle would be waiting at the statue in the middle of town for when you guys are ready.
Yes, I believe we are meeting in town square. Brainel told us yesterday.
Yes.
But yes, do not worry, Max. We will sort this out. Do not worry.
Of course. They asked to bring Flynn along with you. Something about, yes, whatever happened yesterday.
Sure thing.
Uh,
I will immediately go to find Flynn's room.
Great. Max will kind of wander off, and you quite easily find Flynn's room.
Oh, Virginia, Flynn. Did you sleep well?
Yeah, good morning, boss. I'm all right.
Yes, you have been specifically requested by Danelle and Braylon to accompany us in the town square this morning.
All right. Yeah, I'm
Is
coming.
Is that okay with you?
Yeah, that's fine. I just need to finish getting ready.
Of course. It is no rush. Just making sure you are, just so you are aware. I will be shipping up, I believe, as soon as possible. We've got a very busy week ahead of us.
Yeah, of course. All right, I'll meet you out there in just a minute.
I'll then head back to Thandor, back to my room to annoy Thandor while we
Jack,
get
you
ready.
make me sick.
I know, I'm sorry. I can't remember what good morning was. I want to say buongiorno, but obviously that's not true.
Good morning is Dzień dobry.
Dzień dobry.
Where is Milo staying right now? Douglas?
Oh, well, Milo would have been staying in his house, but he likes to rise and grind, right? He's up at sunrise, so he would just be kind of milling about, early in the
mill?
morning. No, not at the mill, like on the outskirts of town, in the forest and stuff. But I would head over to here, like as soon as I think they would be awake. But again, I don't know. I assume they'd be up pretty early, you know, I got work to do. So I'd probably just head over to the inn.
I would imagine after some time that the three other people would eventually step out of the inn. So you all kind of meet and see Milo just standing outside waiting for you all.
My pet dog, aka my pet frog, and my pet pigeon.
Dzień dobry, my lord. How are you this fine morning?
What does that even mean?
It's good morning in spirit.
Oh, okay. Good morning to you too.
Did you sleep well? We had a very active evening last night.
Oh, I slept like a log. I slept brilliant. How about
Dangerous
yourself?
for a woodcarver.
No, it's okay.
We are heading to town square to meet with Danelle and Braylon. Do you wish to join us? I believe they wish to talk about the incidents of last night, so they may want to see you as well. I don't know if you have been told that already, or if you just wish to accompany us.
Well, I mean, like, I've got nothing to do anyway. You know, I'm just kind of walking about. So, you know.
Don't worry, we have no shortage of work for you to help us with over the coming week. Wish for it.
I can't wait.
Cool. As you
We look forward to
guys
working with you.
keep going if you want to.
Likewise. Where are the other two fuckheads here? I mean, your companions. Are they?
It is very early. They are tired, not especially talkative, I don't think. Especially Thandor. He is not a morning person.
Yeah.
Oh,
Safe to
word
say I
on the
did
sheet
not
was
sleep
you.
well.
Word on the sheet was you kept him up last night, Ivan.
Right. As you guys kind of step out, you're not very far from the statue. The inn is very close. You see a bit of a crowd gathered. And you kind of overhear the sounds of an argument brewing, and there's like kind of villagers standing around, observing, just kind of seeing what's happening. You get approach it.
Sorry, I just want to quickly vibe check the crowd to see if it's like an angry mob or if it's like a scared crowd of people. Hopefully using my like empathetic magic.
You're an empath.
Go
So I know how to handle
for
this.
it. I'm gonna chalk this one up to a composure check.
Sure. Using my magic,
You can indeed use it if you wish.
I do wish that composure is 2d6 plus 1d4. Ooh, that is 11.
11. The vibe of it's not an angry mob. It's not a fearful mob. There's it's like kind of gossipy to some extent. There's like what you can kind of feel is that there are clearly two sides between what's happening. And the mob is kind of just observing for now. There's no like particular emotion. They're just kind of listening to this like main argument, and you can hear the figurehead is two people. One of the people, the voice you recognize, is of Braylon.
Right. So it's just like people crowding around to see what's going on.
Yes,
As opposed to
effectively.
people gathered for a purpose. Okay, cool.
Yes. I'll say as well, with an 11, you get the feeling that this might not be an unusual occurrence.
Ooh.
As you get closer, you can't really get into this. You can't all get to the vicinity of like the center of this argument because of the crowd. So you do hear bits of it as you're kind of trying to. I don't know if you're pushing through, but at least you're just trying to walk through. You hear Braylon kind of speaking. Look, Danelle. We've sourced the illness to one of the Watson's fields. So if we burn that field, we're gonna be fine. I don't know why you're so held up in this. And then Danelle kind of responds. This is a voice you don't recognize yet. Braylon, look, we've not. Our conversation is drawing a lot of focus. Let us discuss this. No, Danelle. We need to get rid of that field if we want people to be safe. I don't know why you're so held up about this. And then Danelle kind of chimes in. Look, we have a lot of new visitors in town. I don't want to cause any major concern. The illness hasn't spread. You yourself have said it doesn't spread from person to person, so we're fine. And then Braylon kind of pipes up again. No, look, Danelle, this. I don't know what your problem is. You used salt fires for Pete's sake. If we've already been, but like you, we just need to burn this field, and we're keeping the villagers safe. We're keeping the visitors safe. I don't understand why you're so against the burning of this field if you've already used salt fires previous with opposition from most of the villagers to ward off spirits. And the conversation gonna fall still for a moment, and you all hear a familiar voice as that happens. Well, three of you hear a familiar voice. Three troop PCs hear a familiar voice. Look, we've had a heated discussion. We don't need to. We're speaking of people of the village, people of visitors, and it looks like we've drawn some attention. So why don't we calm down this conversation? It looks like we've got some of these visitors who have who are already witnessing this, and looks over to you guys, and we'll look over to Ivan primarily. And as he does so, the crowd kind of parts aside, and you see Irvine, the kind of very dark-skinned elven man, a little bit gaunter than I think Thandor and Ivan have seen before. I don't know, Flynn. Haven't met Irvine before, have you?
I have not. I probably recognize him from descriptions, though.
Yes, yes.
Would I recognize like the other guy? And obviously, I would know of the kind of, if it's a regular kind of gathering. Would I know of it?
Yes. So the other guy is Danel Crimden, and Thandor. You also recognize him just from description, because this is a person you've like sent letters to, and he would have like described himself for like a conversation, so you know who to go to. Danel Milo, you know, is the leader of the village. Isn't against spirits, but has often like opted to use things to like ward off spirits and harmful spirits. Although he doesn't really fully think of the ramifications of all of those actions sometimes. With next to Danelle and Braylon as well, you see two other people. You see Rosalind, who you met last night, and you also see another like woman of the same age as Rosalind, slightly older maybe, by Danelle, like tan skin, dark tan skin, black hair, and she is looking at Rosalind, and Rosalind looking back, and they have like again this knowing look of this is a frequent occurrence, as they're kind of just quiet. Rosalind is standing beside Braylon, and this other woman is standing beside Danelle, with Ivan kind of trying to mediate in the middle between them. And Milo, you would recognize this to be... It's not... Braylon and Danelle are known to butt heads because they have very different ways of approaching things, effectively. And Braylon is kind of the people's voice. Danelle will actually look over to you guys. The Lesterman traveling troupe.
Me?
Not
At your service.
not you, Milo. But the rest of you. I heard about the little situation last night. I wish to talk to you about that. Looks like we have a bit of a crowd. Everyone, me and Braylon will continue our discussion in private. Please continue about your day. We'll reach a conclusion and let everyone know. And the crowd begins to disperse, leaving only Danelle, the younger woman next to him. Irvine stays here, and so does Braylon and Rosalind. And Danelle will actually walk up to Flynn and say, puts out his hand to shake. You must be the Thandor, I believe it was.
No, I'm not. I ain't Thandor. Thandor's over there. I'm Flynn.
Oh, my apologies.
That's all right.
Why, hello there.
Yes, and then puts his hand to you instead.
I will vigorously shake it.
You kind of hear bones like rattle as that happens.
Jesus Christ.
This is yeah. I mean, this is an older man, and Thandor is like double the chunk.
I know, but even in firm handshakes, I don't think bones should rattle.
Boneton's
I'm
tail.
not throwing him across the room.
I apologize for that display. Welcome to Crimdon.
Why, thank you. It's a lovely village, I can already tell.
Yes, I heard you met Braylon and Rosalind last night, and you see Braylon kind of gives you a nod, and Rosalind looks at him and says, "Hello, good morning, everyone."
Morning.
Good morning, Rosalind.
Yes.
Good morning.
How are your guests?
Oh,
Your patients?
they're resting up fine now. We've not had any other issues. I managed to stay awake this time. I apologize for last night.
It is no worries. Everyone makes mistakes, and no harm was done, so all is well.
Yes. Thandor, I am Daynel. We've exchanged letters, and to the rest of you, I don't believe we've spoken before. I am Daynel Crimdon, leader of this village. Thank you so much for helping last night.
No
It is,
problem.
but the least we could do for your hospitality, welcoming our humble troop into your kind village. We are very thankful for you.
Great. And this is my daughter, and you see him gesturing to the dark-skinned-like woman. Hi, Mara. It's a pleasure to meet you all.
Pleasure to meet you, Mara.
Pleasure.
Yes.
Pleasure.
You see, Mara is actually does have a sword sheathed by her side. Daynel kind of chimes in again. Right. Well, I will introduce you to my son later, Kieran. Him and Mara act as the leaders of our guard. We don't have any real official governmental protection here yet, so mostly just volunteers, and my wonderful children are watching over.
You must be very proud.
Yes, of course, they are quite proficient in protecting us. We've not had any problems as of late, thankfully. Okay. Yes, I'd like to thank you for last night. It was a great service you did for us. I'm sure you noticed the inn was yet to be manned. We are waiting for the owner to return from travel. They were visiting their family, so they should be back later today. If
Of
need
course,
be,
if
I'm
you know, but
sure the villagers would accommodate you with meals for this morning, and then we can help you in future when the owner has returned.
we would be very grateful of
Oh.
such a thing. Thank you very much.
Great. Well then, Thandor, as per our agreement with your lodging, we would like to request your service tonight towards sundown.
But of course.
Mara and Rosalind here will be. Sorry, let's start this from the beginning. I'm sure you're aware of the situation with with some of our villagers being ill. Um,
Indeed.
Braylon and
heard of them.
Rosalind have been working tirelessly to help them, and while we have not yet reached a cure, we have found. Braylon has found that I believe they were called Daylion mushrooms, and Braylon will give an answer. Yeah, they they halt the progression of the illness, and Braylon and Rosalind are running out, and at least one of them needs to keep watch over the ill, the sick. So we would appreciate it if you could accompany Rosalind, and Mara will be moving alongside you for protection. We would appreciate if you journeyed with them to retrieve such mushrooms.
Doesn't sound too difficult.
Yes, I appreciate the timing seems a bit odd, since it will be getting dark at that time. These mushrooms are quite unique, and at this point, Braylon kind of interrupts. Yeah. So they are spirit touched or magical esque mushrooms. They are, contrary to the name, not visible during the day. And instead, during the night, they are as bright, well, rumored to be as bright as the sun, but they shed light. Hence the timing of your journey. Rosalind will be leading the way. Mara just will be there in case of any danger, but we shouldn't. The nearby forests are pretty safe, so you don't need to worry about that. I think that covers it if everything's good with all of you.
Yep.
I
Agree with
stifle
that.
staring daggers at Thandor. But of course, we'll be happy to continue to aid our services. I'm sure we will not be too busy today, and we will have plenty of energy this evening, but it should be fine.
Great. At this point, you see another figure kind of walking up to the group, as tall as Thandor, and a similar build as well. You see this dark-skinned man kind of walk up. Oh, hi, and then Daynell comes. Kieran, we were just speaking about you. Meet my son. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
A pleasure to meet you, Kieran. I am Ivanovich Volkencha, at our service.
Great. I'm on a bit of a time crunch, so I need to get on with some business. I'm sure we can grab a drink later today.
Of course. We do not wish to keep you. We know you must be very busy protecting the villagers of this town.
Oh, yes. I will see you all later. And he will just kind of trail off. Yeah, he kind of leaves. I believe you've been taken to where your troop will be setting up their tent.
I believe so as well, yes.
Yes.
Great. If you have any problems, you can come to me. And points to the big building, just right beside this statue. That is where me, Mara, and Kieran live. But I'll be in my office at most times of the day. Mara and Kieran might be a bit hard to find, but if if anything, you can always go to Braylon as well.
Do they? Sorry, do they just to a building?
Yes, this kind of
Where
large
we were
building
doing-
is
Right.
Daynell's house, but also our offices, so that is what you can head to.
I see.
Oh, nice.
Do you have any questions? Or anything I can help you with?
How long has this? Just out of pure curiosity, how long has this illness been going on for? I heard we heard a little bit about the arguments happening in the town square this morning, and we just wondered if everything is okay. If it is anything we should be worried about, as we are travelers here.
I'll let Braylon. Yeah, Braylon kind of pipes in. It's been about a week since we had the first case. I think our most recent one was the man that one of you caught. I believe that was you actually.
Yes,
Uh,
I believe.
Duster. He got ill maybe 4 or 5 days ago. We have looked into it a bit. It doesn't transfer between people, so you don't need to be concerned by any of the handling that you did yesterday. There is a particular field in the Watson's nearby Watson's house, which I believe is the source of the illness. So I will be cordoning that area off. I don't believe you should be concerned, but if you need to be checked up or you just want to make sure, you can always head by the apothecary.
Sure thing. I'll make sure that our troop knows to stay away from that field, or to stay away from cordon areas in general.
That'd be amazing.
Do you know what's going on with that field, or is it just random?
We're not aware of the cause just yet, but after speaking with the Duster, as I mentioned, but also Hella and Francis, the woman and a boy you saved yesterday, they received they got like a cut while they were wandering nearby a particular field and have gotten ill since then.
Right.
So that's really the only similarity between the victims we have found so far. So I want to make sure the illness doesn't spread to other fields.
That seems
Oh,
fair.
of course, that seems very sensible.
You just see Braylon kind of stare daggers at Daynell. It does, doesn't it? For now, I will go coordinate off. If you need anything, you can always come to me or Rosalind.
Thank you very much. We'll be sure to bear that in mind.
Yes. Daynell also at this point is like, yes, I've got a bit of business to deal with, so if you've got no more questions, I will return to my office.
I believe that is all from me.
I think we're good.
Yes. You see, Irvine here actually claps. Oh, I feel like I've been forgotten.
Oh, trust me, Ivan has been beaming and grinning at
Yeah.
from the moment he saw Irvine.
You see,
Not just wanting to be civil in front of
yeah.
the mayor.
You see like the 4 others like kind of trail off, and then it's just you guys and Irvine. Well,
I go to
must.
hug Irvine.
Yeah. Oh, he hugs you back.
Irvine, it is so good to see you. It has been such a long time. How are you doing? How is Crimson? How is retirement? How are you? I wish to know everything. Obviously, I understand we are pressed for time, but how goes things?
I'm doing great. Let me find his voice again. I did a completely different accent. I am doing great. Retirement is boring, but it is, with the current state of my body, it is unfortunately necessary.
I try to give him a look at him, see what he's referring to. Does he look like sick or frail or injured?
He's like, Irvine is always quite presentational, like presentative, and you see like less of it. There's less like flourish in like how he like his body language, and just a bit slower.
Alright.
But as you hug him quite specifically, Irvine is a lot thinner than uh, you've previously seen him, and his face, you can also see like the cheekbones kind of showing through slightly. Uh, yes. Well, uh, things happen, you know. So
Of course.
you just have to
Time
make
passes,
do.
things happen, life changes. You look well, my friend, and I do hope we can count on you to come to our show this coming week.
Oh yes, I mean I'll if I'm allowed to hang around the troop, I will help as much as possible as well.
Oh, more than happily. That would be brilliant. Of course, I do not wish to call upon you out of your retirement for a show you are not. But
Well,
you will be more than welcome to, and we are welcome for any pointers you are willing to spare.
well, in my retirement, I don't have a lot to do. It's great to see everyone. I'm guessing the rest of the troop are still waking up.
Yes, yes, it is. We have a long week ahead of us. It is best to gather strength early, as it were. And I do not believe you will have met Flynn. I believe he came around after I took over. This is Flynn. He is he is very good in special effects and magic and that kind of thing. Flynn, I'm sorry, I don't know what to speak for you. Flynn, this
Yes.
is
Yeah,
Irvine. He used to be the director of the troop before I took over. He's a
yeah.
bit of a mentor, bit of a hero.
I assume so. I could tell from the presentation. It's a pleasure to meet you, sir.
Ah, it's a pleasure to meet you. He kind of goes in for a hearty handshake.
Yes, I'll give him a hearty handshake back. Um,
It
yeah.
is a pleasure meeting you. What is it that you do?
Well, pleasure's all mine. I mostly just help set up and run magic special effects during the
Ah,
shows.
magic. Out of curiosity, is Ezra with you, like just lying about?
Yeah, Ezra's with me.
Ah, and this little spirit, is that yours?
Yeah, he doesn't belong to me. He's a friend.
Even better. And kind of shakes your hand a bit more, and then retreats a bit. Ah, magic. Very tough skill set to find these days.
Yeah, it's not common around the general populace. I I've been keeping it to myself for a while, but my it's been useful for around here.
Yes, if it weren't as I mean, unfortunately, those Imperial mages regulate the magic a bit more nowadays. In my time, it was less controlled, more fun, and you see him cast a bit of magic, and like it's like confetti kind of comes out of his hands. And Thandor and goes to give Thandor a handshake as well.
Fandor pats the hand away and goes in for a hug.
Oh yes, of course. And then he hugs you. How is everything going?
Oh, well, very well. Everything is in order, sir.
I see. Right.
Very convincing.
Well, I'm sure we can talk about that at another time. I've got well, I was speaking of how Freya was, but I do have a little business, a little errand that I do need to run. So, let's. I will meet you back at the troops. At the tent.
Of course. Please do remember that the friendship is a two-way street. We are welcome to have you helping out with us. But if there's anything you need to call upon us for, we'll be more than happy to help you around the village if there's anything, of course. If we can, obviously between time of setting up for show. But I'm sure we can make time for you, and I'm sure there'll be no problem at all.
Of course, of course. Well, I need to run, finish this errand, and he kind of pats on his like satchel that he's got slung over his shoulder. I will see you when I can, but an hour tops.
Of course, we eagerly await.
Irvine trails off as well, leaving the four of you.
I want to maybe not take them aside, but I wish to talk to Flynn and Milo. I don't want to take them aside because I want to exclude Fander, of course. But I just want to ask them about.
I can go piss. That's great. Go for it.
Well, so has Doug. But so I guess I'll talk to Flynn.
No. All right.
It is interesting. I'm not super familiar with spirits, but it appears that from what I know, from what I gather, you seem to have a bit more of a knowledge of them. Are you familiar with any spirits that are attracted to wounds or cuts or anything of the sort? Anything to do with possession, spirits lacking blood? I'm not sure because that illness that those three people had it's definitely spirits were involved.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely spiritual in nature. I don't. Let me have a think.
You can roll a knowledge check for that if you wish.
I'll roll a knowledge check.
Difficulty I'm going to say of this is going to be a 10.
Okay.
I also roll knowledge in Andrew, same, but like. Or is there anything I can do to help? Because I know a bit about spirits, but I went to Flynn because I know he is like an expert.
Yeah.
I think you just describing it is as much help as you can give in this situation.
Yeah.
This is purely just testing someone's knowledge, and you can roll your own knowledge check as well if you want to.
Yeah. There we go.
I can't beat a 10. I only have 1d6. I don't think any of my skills.
Fair enough. So from what Flynn would know, what was the question you asked in particular, Ivan?
Does he know anything about is there anything that in his mind or knowledge ties spirits with like wounds or bruises or blood and possession?
I mean, the simple answer is yes. Spirits and possession particularly go very hand in hand. But the kind of, I think, possession that you noticed is a bit more specialized. It wasn't just like a ghost taking over a body. You I think specified as being parasitic, which was quite accurate. Of like, the possession in this kind is like a slow burning thing that will eventually take over. Cuts and blood. I don't know if that gives you particular insight. What Flynn would understand from the description that Ivan gave him, if it's parasitic, it's a spirit that's going to possess you, and just basing it on the off the information got from Braylon of like it's a particular field. It's probably a spirit that is like nature-esque. It's like a woodland spirit or like some sort of plant spirit.
Yeah. Yeah. I assumed as much.
But I don't know if you can pin down what it specifically is, because I don't know if Flynn has experience in this in particular, this type of spirit in particular.
No. Something. Yeah, I'll kind of relay most of that. Yeah, it's something that is living in that field, likely, or uses it as a, I don't know, hunting ground, that kind of thing, or it's a plant that is just growing there. But other than that, I don't know exactly.
I'll say this as well. Flynn's focus when he was a mage was somewhat into like the healing aspect of magic as well, right?
Yeah.
So when they were speaking of a cure before, I think Flynn would know that illness is caused by spirits, like spirits itself, are like hard to grab onto when it comes to medicine, and so you need something to kind of physically bring it to the world to then target it with medicine. So you know that there's like there's various ways to do this. You would just need to find a medicine capable of doing that. The most common one you're aware of is like a weed effectively called Violet's Eye.
Oh, righty.
So what did Violet's
Yeah.
Eye do again? Did Violet's Eye cure the possession, or did Violet's Eye exercise?
Violet's Eye effectively brings the illness to the world physically, so that the medicine can tackle it.
It acts like an anchor, I guess.
Yes, yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
It turns it from a spiritual problem to a physical problem, and we would have an easier time curing the physical problem.
Yes.
It's a medicine to medicine converter.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. See, now this I can work with. Just use the proper terms.
The fungus she was talking about is the mushroom that we're going to be hunting for later. That's going to be medicine, but to have it work on a spiritual problem, we need spedicine. So we need something to convert the medicine to spedicine. You understand?
I understand. We need to turn the spillness into an illness, and then we can use the medicine.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I understand.
More or less.
Understood.
I've not done this before myself, but it's likely to be something like that.
I think Flynn would also know using magic as well, kind of in that process of making the spedicine, would make it more effective.
Okay. Cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Besides that, we've now got to go over the performance check rules again, because that's now where we're up to. So, let me find that. So, we briefly went over this previously. You guys have 6 days, and then on the 7th day is the harvest moon, and that's when the festival would occur and where your performance is running. So on those 6 days, you have 2 effectively work slots. And you also have 2 on that 7th day before the actual performance. You do have stuff on the 7th day as well. Your work slots, one of them will be dedicated to fulfilling the request of the villagers. If you choose to do that, you can choose to avoid that, but that will also have consequences. And the other use of it is to complete a performance check, which is an attribute check of any kind, as per a goal that you guys have set. The DC of that is quite high, but you guys can effectively do things over the course of the day to try reduce the difficulty of that as much as possible. So we'll go over this in a bit, but you guys effectively need to set a goal. It can be whatever goal for the day, for the troop, for like you guys to get this performance check running, and what these performance checks determine is how successful your performance is by the end. So if you get 5 successful performance checks by the end of the week, you have a satisfactory performance, which means it's not your last show, but there are still definitely people in the troupe that might leave after this one, just because it isn't giving them the returns that they kind of need to make a living. After 7 successful checks, you'll have a great show. So the crowd have loved the performance, and there might be 1 or 2 leavers, but you are like set for your next performance. You will have opportunities in future, and if you get 10 successful checks, you produce a blockbuster, which kind of pushes you into stardom quite quickly and gives you a lot of options for your next show and your future stuff. So, with performance checks, each player can only use an attribute once. So, say if Ivan uses presence for 1, you can't use presence again. But Flynn would be able to use presence if he hadn't used presence already. Is that clear so far?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Wait, sorry.
Aye,
With the villager tasks, so for right now, is the mushroom quest considered a villager task, or is that happening
Yes.
after
The mushroom
work
quest is
day,
the
like-
villager task.
moment?
Yes. So, a player character can only use an attribute once per performance check. What was I going to say? You can only use a check once. So that's kind of just how that works. You also have the option of letting like the troupe make one of these performance checks. In that case, the attribute check will always be like a 2d6, but the troupe similarly acts like a player. So once you make like a presence with the troupe, you can't make another presence with the troupe. You can use the skills for these checks. Those still apply. You can also choose to overwork once per day, and that gives you access to another work slot, which you can use for another performance check if you want to. But it will give you a level of exhaustion, which I'm not going to tell you what the effects of that are until that happens, just to make it a bit more interesting. I think that covers a lot of it. Let me know if you have any questions, because I know that was a lot of information dropped on you.
Okay, if I'll just say what I had in mind for the third day, and for the first day, and you tell me if this actually works. In my head, for the first day, it would mainly be like setting up. So if we're all working towards the same goal of setting up, could, for example, Thandor use strength to be like, I move supplies and boxes, but then I use agility for like tying knots and tying ropes and helping but like we're still working to the same goal of day 1 setup thing, but we're using different abilities for it.
Yeah. So how that effectively would come across is you've got one big performance check to make at the end of the day, which is a difficulty 15. You will have one person rolling that performance check, and you can choose which attribute at that time. Like, say if you chose Thandor to be the representative of that overall, and you use strength for that, you using agility to do whatever you're doing would decrease the difficulty of the check at the end of the day.
Okay, cool. Fact.
Any more cues? More questions?
Not right now, but I'm sure I will forget about half the information that
Sure.
you've just spewed onto us.
Yes.
So also hypothetically, all 4 of us could work. So wait, so it's the 4 of us working, and then did you say the troupe counts as like a 5th person in a way, where we could have the troupe working on something, and then we also work on 4 different
For
a different thing each?
performance check, in terms of like the little things to decrease the the difficulty of a performance check, I'm gonna kind of just have that as you guys doing a thing. Like the troop
Cool.
can't act separately in that case.
Mhm.
But you like if you're doing stuff, you would be working with the troop, I imagine.
Okay, makes sense.
And working like say you were like what was the example you gave before about using agility?
So like I would be like, so for example, for the example of setting up like the tent and our stage and stuff, that would be like people could use strength to like move boxes and supplies and like equipment. People would use like agility to like set up that equipment or like tie ropes and like the like above stage things and sandbags and things like that.
Yeah.
And like using different abilities for the same performance for the same task of the day, kind of.
So you're like you would be effectively the leader of a battalion of people using agility to set up ropes and stuff. So having like other people can make that a bit easier on yourself, because there will be checks and stuff involved with that, and to reduce like difficulty and stuff. So having other people to help you would kind of make that check easier.
Okay, makes sense.
Yes, that is a lot of information, but all I need to know now is for you as a group of 4 to decide what is the goal for the day.
Yeah, I think it makes sense for a first day goal to be like to set up our space and our tent and our stage and our like things like that. Because then for future days, it makes sense to like get that out of the way. So in the future days, it is like, okay, I'll work on the script, I'll work on acting, I'll work on like specific special effects. I'm also saying that because a lot of my weakest skills are physical. So it's I want to use my bad skills so I can use my good skills later. It's kind of selfish, but ignore that and think about just what I said about it being for the greater good.
I mean, yeah, setting everything up seems kind of
Yeah, that seems like a good first step, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And setting up our space.
Yeah, these goals
we
can kind of
fine-tune
be
them.
anything that you guys decide it to be, as like if it makes sense. There's no real like specific plot that I'm gonna make you like force you guys to do. So it's kind of open-ended, and you guys can do whatever. So setting up as your first day goal is good. So we'll set that as a goal. As I mentioned before, the difficulty will be 15 of that performance check at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, you'll need to elect like one person to actually make the roll. But for the we'll handle that later. For now, to reduce the actual difficulty of that roll, you guys can kind of just go do whatever you want in attempts to make that end of day roll easier.
If we make a roll to make it's only performance checks that we then can't reuse. If I were to use agility to make a check easier, can I still use agility for a performance check later in the week?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, the performance check is the only thing that's like set in stone and the only like massively important roll. Besides that, everything is free game.
I have
Awesome.
3D,
in which case,
4D10 in agility. I'll do every single performance check.
Yeah,
that's what that stands for then.
Damn.
I mean, yeah, I guess, yeah. Who has the best? Because I imagine this will be physical. I mean, I guess argue what you guys want to argue, but who has the best skill that they think appropriates to setting up our space and stage?
I have
My
really
highest is
good
2d4
wit.
What is also
I guess planning could be also argued as wit of like space management.
I've good cunning, composure, and wit. Oh, and knowledge. I've got a lot of knowledge.
Connive my way into tricking people to help, like to getting more of the staff to help out. But for the final check, I think like Ivan's the one who has a vision for this stage.
I do, but I have really bad. I'm only good at social.
There are a lot of ways. There's a lot of ways you can angle it.
Yeah, like
like you could say, I mean, a big part of setting something up is the management, especially if you're setting up a whole last like tent and stage. So that is where social would come into it, if you want that to be like the focus.
True.
If you could like if you want the focus to be like the actual putting up of stuff, that would make that you could use physical for that, etc. etc.
Yeah, I was gonna try and use my social midway through the week as like a morale boost kind of thing. Especially since I'm empathetic, so I could give an extra D4 to it. Because I imagine people are gonna get grumpier as the week goes on, and we're like working hard and also having to deal with villager bullshit.
Mm.
Again, I'm purely
Bullshit.
selfishly pushed for a physical thing to do first because my physical stats are awful.
I've got a 2d6 in agility, and that's my best physical stat. So
that might. I mean,
I have a
2d6. I think is mostly what we're gonna be working with.
yeah. I have a 2d6 in Constitution, but I don't know how that's gonna come with setting up. Other than I guess it's
'cause
gonna be a
we're-
long day of setup.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long day of lugging things around and having to set things up. Honestly, I think that
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense
That
to me.
also works with me.
Yeah.
It's like stamina.
Yeah.
Okay, Flynn, are we okay with Flynn being our constitutive performer?
Oh, I've got a 1d4 in Constitution. I know.
Is everyone happy with that?
Okay. So this is so each day has 2 tasks. This is the first one of getting things set up. Is the second task then going to be the mushroom hunt, presumably?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
If you choose to fulfill it, yes.
Okay, if we choose,
I think we
fuck the
should do.
villagers.
I think the first day
Kill
we should
this
probably
shit
get on
in
that good side.
Yeah. Okay. So am I making a Constitution roll now to
Not right now. It would happen. It
or
would
is that
happen
at the end of the day?
That'd happen at the end of the day.
End of the day.
and,
Right. Cool.
Second thing to note: do you choose to overwork today? Because that is a group decision as well.
I don't think we need to on the
No,
first day.
not on the
It's a
first day.
day. No.
Yeah, we don't want to be exhausted.
We don't want to.
like, early
Yeah,
in
we
the
don't want
week.
to overwork ourselves. Come on, just gotta set
When
up.
we inevitably fail the first 3 checks and we only have 4 days left, then we can start overworking. But I think we should start the week. Let's not burn out too quickly.
Cool.
Mhm.
So with that part of the decision making done, what are people actually doing to reduce the difficulty of the performance check at the end of the day?
Uh,
I
first of all,
think
I'm
I'm
gonna go over
follow.
to Flynn. I'll go. Oh, Flynn.
Yeah. All right.
Ivan's got his head stuck in scripts and creative ideas, and I need to handle all of this business. So, can I trust you to be our stage manager in helping build the stage and getting the tent set up today?
Yeah, I've watched you all do it enough times. I think I can manage that.
Perfect. Good luck. It's an arduous task. It can really drain a man.
I've noticed. I'll
You need a
keep
higher
I'll try and keep
constitution
everyone
for
on
a
top
job
of
like
things.
this.
Excuse me, Kevin.
Hello.
I think I'm gonna once again follow the stagehands around, which means probably annoying Max more. And again, I'm gonna, because I used to be a stagehand, I'm gonna use my agility to again tie down ropes, climb into where the above stage is gonna be, set up sandbags, set up what I imagine a lights equivalent would be, like torches and stuff. I'm gonna follow the stagehands around and kind of do the rather than the heavy lifting big parts, I do slightly more fine tuning. Okay, this goes there, this goes there, this needs to fit in that tight space, this needs to be moved, that kind of thing.
Aaron, could you just quickly remind me? So the performance checks at the end of the day, we can only use one attribute for each day for the week. Once you use it on one day, you can't use it at all.
A player can't use the same one. So
yes.
if you use Constitution now, you can't use Constitution in the future. But Thandor or someone else could if they wanted.
But that doesn't apply to the checks in the day to make the performance check easier.
Yeah. In the day, it's kind of just general RP.
Okay.
But
cool.
that RP can result in the difficulty of the performance check reducing.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Um, um, I think during the day, because obviously I am pretty new to the gang, I'm just gonna go to Fandor and be like,
Fandor, you're the wood man, right? You've got wood. Fandor, wood.
Yes, I was headed right over to you to discuss wood myself.
I love a good hardwood chat.
Indeed. Do you have timber that you can provide us for building this stage?
Not really, no. I mean, I don't really have a lot of wood. I just have a bit of wood and I make little things, like my little things here.
I gesture towards my little things, my little guys.
I see. I
You know,
was
obviously,
under
it's
the
a much
impression
bigger
that we were
scale.
talking like floorboards and the likes, but we'll find a place for your decorative notions.
Well, I can still make the floorboards and all that, but I can't supply the wood for it.
Ah, well, I'll ask around town.
Fortunately, we surely brought some of our own supplies. Like we
Oh,
have
Yeah,
our
yeah.
stage
I
I was
mean,
supplies.
gonna-
you
I
would,
I was
yeah.
gonna say,
You
surely you'd have your own shit.
you would
I
have
also love the improv aspect of, oh, I'm gonna use this wood carver and ask him for wood. Oh, I don't have any wood.
yeah, you would have
Oh,
like
I-
the troop would have access to wood. That is
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you could also ask for wood in the surrounding villages. I feel effectively what you would need is to mostly maybe probably make repairs and replace some broken things. But
Yeah.
generally,
it's
you
gonna
would
be
have
getting
enough
set
to make
up.
a stage.
Yeah, I would also. I was
I
really
hope so.
hoping so.
I would
Although-
get to making sure all the wood that we do have is in order then, and making sure before we place it down, it is all usable and not gonna kill people.
Cool.
Yes, thank you. That will be greatly
Great start.
appreciated.
We don't want soft, faulty wood.
No, we want hard, firm wood.
Definitely.
Cool. Just based on those for now, then, what I will say is we'll kind of start there. We'll say the rest of the troopers kind of move to the location, which is here. I'm just gonna whoop, bonk.
Hey.
Uh, you see the rest of the troop are also here. You see Max, Marcus, you see Juliana as well as the various other people here, and we'll go to. You'll see Max will go towards wherever Thandor is, and simply just ask you about what to do. What are we? What is the troop helping out with today? What are they doing?
Well, stage one is getting the tent and the stage set up. We need that sort of. If you talk to Flynn, I think he'll have a job for you.
Great. Yeah. Perfect. Is there anything else that you want us to handle, look into? I'll go to Flynn for setting up the tent, but anything else we're doing today? Any help that you need at all?
Oh, and not concerning work, I will actually do a quick announcement of do beware. The village has had a illness issue as of recent. There is a field in particular, Watson's Field, I believe is to the north. Please be careful if you're in the area. There have been a couple spirit incidents in the area, so just so everyone is aware, do be careful when in that area. We don't want any illnesses a week before the show.
Yeah, Watson's Field is down south here, which is where you guys were.
The Watson's Field to the south.
Which
Yes,
is where
of course,
you
right,
and
that's pretty
Thandor
good.
was. Yeah. Dealing with the situation yesterday.
Yes. There was the mysterious stranger tampering with the wheat. Interesting.
Yes.
Max and the rest of the troop will nod and be like, of course, we will make sure to not get sick as much as possible.
Thank you, thank you.
Cool. Yeah, as people kind of start unloading stuff from the wagons that the troop would have, Milo, you're inspecting the wood. So what I'll say is make a. What's this gonna be? What am I gonna make this check?
Whatever it is, I'm sure it's my middle name.
I will let this be of your choice between knowledge or wit.
I can't reuse this, right?
You can. This is one you can reuse. This is it's
Oh.
only performance checks where that is a thing that matters. You're not making a performance check right now.
Guys, a 2d8 is better than 3d4 any day of the week, right? Okay, well, where is
Yeah.
it?
Well, apart
You
from
Unless
you
you're-
today.
can add your D4 crafts as well into this as well.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
explode!
It explodes! Oh, fuck.
5.
My
Yeah,
life.
it's better than half. It's better than half. It's better than half. Wait, no, it's not. No, it's not.
No,
No,
it's
it's not at all.
2d8
That's
plus
the
4
opposite
is
of better than half.
horrific. 21
Oh well.
Significantly below half.
Look, you guys hired a
That's
random
significantly
fucking
shit.
old man to work in your state.
I was informed
Thing
there
is-
was a highly skilled craftsman.
So, I was
There
informed of
is, but it
nothing.
isn't me.
I was not informed, but I hoped that we were in a village that didn't have a plague going on, and also we'd be able to focus on our show and not be expected to do random errands.
You do what you gotta do, man.
Yeah,
So-
you did.
As you're looking over the, you're kind of doing an inspection of the wood as you see a number of the other troop are kind of like they lift a bit of wood off like a wagon, bring it to you, you inspect it, and then they like depending on your perspective, they will either use it or send it for repairs, etc., etc. I want to say this is a very long task, so this is going to take you like 2 or 3 hours. And you go over plank of wood after plank of wood after plank of wood after slightly curved plank of wood after plank of wood after another curved one. You're getting it is a bit boring. And I think after a while it gets very hard to like maintain focus, but you do get through it. What you realize is that there are a lot of pieces that are good, but there's like some of the like very important like central stage pieces. I don't know how elaborate is the troops like stage.
I would assume that it was elaborate once in the height
Yeah.
of Irvine.
As you say, I think
It's been
Irvine probably
simplified
had
It's
very
down.
not
elaborate.
been the thing that we've been putting money into.
Yeah, as reasons like we have to travel so much, I imagine a lot of it has been shed, and we'd kind of like finesse it after the fact, like with Flynn's special effects and with like other stuff as well. But I think the stage itself is pretty like simple.
Is the stage in a big tent or is it outside?
I imagine we're in a big tent.
In a big tent.
I want to be giving
Okay.
off our shows for free at this festival. People want to pay to get in the tent.
That's true.
So what
We're gonna
Milo?
pay to get out the tent.
Yeah. What you
Exactly,
notice,
that's where we get him.
What you notice, Milo, is that a lot of these, like a lot of this wood isn't well maintained. So where once you think that some of these pieces had quite like elaborate carvings, just to like kind of show prestige, some of those carvings have kind of rotted a bit, and some parts have just gone weak. Because they haven't there hasn't been money put into it, and you think they would effectively pose a danger. Some of these pieces are completely unusable. So what your inspection can kind of glean is that it won't reduce the difficulty of this performance check you're making at the end of the day. But if those bits of wood were replaced, then that performance check would be a lot easier. You just need to acquire that wood and then carve it to the right shape.
So it's not over. That's what I'm hearing.
It's not over. You're just a bit worried about the structural integrity.
I'd like to go to Fandor and be like,
Fandor, I don't know. I don't know how stages normally set up, but like, I don't know if it's gonna hold up very well. I mean, like some of these, like main pieces of wood, I don't think they're gonna hack it.
Oh dear.
Like the real better loading walls and yada yada, support beams, yada yada, entropy, yada yada.
Yada
Yeah,
yada. Oh, well, the yada yada is the most important bit of the stage, so we should really look into replacing that.
yeah, I think so.
um, yeah,
How about
that's all I've really got to relay.
me and you? We go find some wood, and you can get to work on carving it into, cutting it into an important yada yada that will help support
Um,
our stage.
if that's what we need to do, then I will do it.
Indeed.
I want both of you to roll. I want to say for Thandor that it'll be a wit or a cunning check. Difficulty of 4. For Milo, I want you to roll a knowledge check, difficulty of 3.
Oh, do I get my crafts added to this?
Yes, you would.
That's a
Oh my
5 in
god!
wit.
Whoa.
A 5 in wit, a 13 for. Okay.
Milo, your third dice did roll a 4, so if that was your skill dice, it would explode.
No,
No,
it's not. I rolled
he
my
rolled
skill dice
a
after.
Oh, I see.
Yes. So,
Nice.
Thandor, you could get this wood. You could just go and get it. That would work. It
Mhm.
would take a very long time.
Uh-oh.
So, not a massively long time. It's just like it would take a while. And you could probably do it faster if you went to maybe Daynell and kind of asked for somewhere to get wood. Or if someone in the village can kind of sort that out. Daynell is the leader of this village, and you have some aspects of this village at your disposal.
Yeah.
So it's probably faster to go that way. And then Milo, what you would know is that there is a carpenter in this village. So you could probably swing by them and also request help of them. And I'll say with your I think 13, which is however much above the number I set, I'll say that Milo is probably is aware of these people, and probably has a friendly relationship with them.
Let's
So
go.
you could probably use your kindness dice on
Kindness.
those figures.
Let's
Oh
go.
yeah.
Being kind pays off.
So where shall we go about getting this wood? We could go chop down a tree, of course, but
Well, before we go ruining the local
we could ask.
ecosystem, I have a few carpenter pals. We
Ah,
could maybe
yes,
pay them a visit. They're good with
indeed.
the wood.
Your local knowledge is invaluable.
Yes, and then I can add my kindness die to the roll.
Mm. Well, let's go talk to this carpenter. What
As
did you say their name was?
Um,
Milo?
give me a
It is
um,
a family.
Orin.
Um, it is family. The business itself goes by the Orchard Woodworks. The current owner goes by the name Ethan Woodman.
Oh,
Ethan Woodman.
but that's almost as smart as Chance Gamboli.
So as you two kind of go to deal with that, I'm gonna move back towards Ivan and Flynn. What kind of things are you guys doing?
I think my agility thing to, again, basically, I say shadow. I would probably take charge of the stage hands and be like, now what you wish to do? People think you wish for a clove hitch when in fact you just want a half hitch, and it saves time and is actually more secure. When tying these tying these knots, and you want the rocks in that corner over there to add weight to the sandbag, so when things fall, it opens the curtains over there, and again, just kind of taking charge, but then helping out.
And while the trooper probably ignoring Ivan's instructions because they've done this before.
So
Sorry,
far, so far.
sorry, Ivan. It's true. I'll try and just get like a general like plan of where every tent is going and like where the stage is going in the big main tent. Try and just organize everything. And then just like help do whatever needs to be setting up, moving the wooden stage planks. But mainly, I'll just try and get things organized, to where everything's trying to go.
Cool. Okay. So I'll ask you, Flynn. Since you're doing like an organization type dealio, I might ask you to do either a composure or presence check.
Oh, okay. I'll do composure because I'm slightly better at that.
Right.
That's 6.
Yeah. So as you kind of get going, organizing people, as like after like the inspection, after like things are like briefly getting inspected by Milo, and like some piece of goods ago, the tent is kind of getting ready to set up. You begin to just kind of organize people. Ivan, at this point, you're kind of floating about helping the stagehands. While that is happening, Ivan, you feel a bit of a tug. Not like a physical pull, but just the desire to go back to your room for just a moment.
Is this tug a familiar sensation?
Familiar to some extent, yes.
Okay,
Get
I
hooked
will
up.
follow it. Yes, Max, you finish this area here. I need to sort something in my office, and then I'll be right back to finish this. Do not worry. You're doing great.
As you head to the inn and back to your room, your dresser has been set up in here.
I tentatively enter, and I'm like, "Hello, my loyalist followers, my loyalist audience members. How may I help you today?"
There isn't a response for
Just nervously look at like my reflection and all the faces, if there are faces like paint pictures on the walls.
you see there's like a symbol, there's two masks that kind of a decorative piece on top of like this dresser. Ivan. Hello.
Is it the smiley face or is it the sad face?
Both of them at the same time right now.
Smashny, smoothny. It's so good to see you. Thank you for please. I was just about to set up the show. Is there anything I can do for you? Anything that would please you?
Why, this is a sad face. Why is your life so droll, Ivan?
Um, Well, I do not think it is droll. I am actor. I am living in troupe. I am traveling from place to place. Everywhere is new. Every month I am in new place, exploring new part of world. It
Ivanovich,
is great.
we're
It's adventure.
waiting for. We just want to be entertained.
I, I understand that. Just, I just, constructive criticism would be very helpful. Every time I put on a show, every time I come to you, it's like, oh, you entertained? It's like, no, we're not entertained. It's just, what do you guys like? I tried tragedies, I tried comedies, I tried adventures, I tried romance. That was not a good idea. What did you guys are never happy? You guys are never happy. How can I make you happy? More sad and just entertained. Sorry, split me.
A declining. A declining theatre performance isn't fun at all, Ivan. Gotta have a bit more thrill, don't you think?
Yes, as the saying goes, you got to decline to incline. So, do you know what? Trust me, this show will be very different. This will be a much better show. The decline is over. We are now on the up and up.
Ivan, if you decline any further, I don't think there's more. I don't think there's any lower you can go.
Ouch.
Wow.
I could not agree more, and that is why we are done declining. This is a new show. It's a new theater. It's a new show. It is all going to go well. I promise you. Of that, you have my guarantee. It will be the best show the theater has ever done, even with Irvine, because Irvine might be able to help with this show. But that is beside the point. Under my leadership and my acting, the show will be perfect in every way.
Well, Ivan, we just wanted to let you know. If this is your last show, then it may soon be the last time you use magic.
Ivan's ears just completely flattened against his head at that, and it's like, but that is completely unnecessary. I mean, fortunately, the show will be a success. It is a fortunately very null and void threat. But do not worry. It's that even if it were to be bad, you would not need to do that because the show after the show will be even better. And although the show is already going to be perfect, so it'll be very difficult to do, and yet I will do it for you two because I love you too.
Okay, Ivan. We will help as much as we can, but you have to show something for us. You have to give us an inkling, a taste of what entertainment you'll bring us soon.
Of course, I can read you the final monologue of my character. Although I will be
We
rewriting
don't
that part a
care
little
about
bit.
that,
It's a little
Ivan. We just want to see something fun. We will warn you. There is something scurrying in this village, looking for you.
It's me.
me.
Well,
Who's looking for me?
the royal you.
I am I am confused. Is this bad thing? Is this should we be worried? Does this endanger the show at all? Because again, I promise you a perfect show, but if there is outside interference, then that is not my fault, and you cannot take my magic away for something that's not my fault.
It's an entertaining thing.
Perfect. Then everyone wins.
Although
Right?
I don't. Well, maybe not. Maybe not you.
I would say it's just somehow go even further back. Clearly very upset.
Ivan, we can help you
Understood.
as much. We can give, but only as much as we get. So, if
Yes,
you
yes, of
need,
course.
if you need more magic at this time, all you need is to give us something of value, of importance.
Of, of, of course. I'm just gonna pat his jacket like he's trying to think of something. Do I have any idea what these spirits might want that I could materially give them?
Roll, roll a cunning check.
Cunning check. Okay.
Difficulty of 6.
Oh, easy with 2d4. 6.
6. You don't think you could give them anything material that would
Am I
suffice?
asking for part of my soul?
Maybe not yours.
Ooh. Ooh. But whose? There are a lot of people Ivan would be willing to give them.
Ivan.
If I asked for Irvine, that'd be different.
Oh, yeah, Irvine.
Yes,
That
yes,
guy,
of course.
Irvine.
I'm not giving them Irvine. That's what I was thinking through. Like, yeah, I'd probably give them a lot of the souls of the troop, but I would not give them. I think he's the only person I wouldn't give them at this current moment in time. Yes, I can. I can get you. I will get you a token to show that I am just as invested in success as you guys are, and just as dedicated to entertainment as you guys are. I will find just what you need, and then everything is great and continues to be great.
Of course, Ivan. Everything will be great.
Yes.
And then the faces kind of revert to their still position.
Okay. Ivan leaves his off. Is my office in where we're setting up, or is my office back in the inn?
Your dresser was set up at the inn, but
Okay.
you don't know when that happened.
Yeah, Ivan is more than happy to just spirit chicanery. I imagine similar things have been happening for long enough that I just have to roll with that at this point.
Probably. We'll break that.
So yeah, I'll leave the room.
Yeah, we'll break that that conversation. We're gonna move back to Flynn for a moment. As you're setting up and you're kind of helping, I'm gonna have you roll just one more check.
Okay.
We're gonna say this is a this is kind of just a continuation of the previous thing. I'm just helping around. I'm gonna say this is a presence or composure, difficulty of 5.
Okay, sir. I'll give that a go. That is another 6. That's
Cool.
pretty cool.
With Flynn kind of helping around in the area, you are able to reduce the difficulty of your performance check by 1. So
Hey,
the difficulty at the end of the day is now 14.
that's one.
That's 1.
That's one, guys.
As you're kind of between doing this, Braylon comes up to you. Hey, Flynn.
Afternoon, Braylon. How's it been going?
It's going great. The dangerous field in question earlier has been cleared off for now. We'll see if there's a bit more action taken after a conversation with Danelle. But I noticed in the morning. That you have a bite on your hand.
But yeah. This is from yesterday. There were some giant squirrels in the woods. They were going after one of my lights when I was trying to rescue that lady. I don't remember her name. I'm sorry. They just nipped me a little bit. It shouldn't be too bad.
It's I believe what you saw. They're simply called black squirrels. We have them in the area from time to time.
Yeah, those are the ones.
If you it doesn't look like a bad bite or anything, but if I would recommend swinging by the apothecary to just make sure it doesn't get infected or anything.
Yeah, that should be fine. I can take care of myself. But I'll see her if I can.
That's great. I actually wanted to ask about the bee that's been following you.
Oh, him. This is Ezra. He's my spirit companion, basically. He's a friend.
Uh, Great. Oh yes, sorry. I was just curious. I did also notice, besides the bite, your spirit seems a bit slower than I noticed yesterday. I want you to make a knowledge check for me.
Uh, sure.
You can
What is
add.
this about Ezra?
This is about Ezra. You can add your spirit dice to this if you want.
I will.
Yeah, 11 is
There we
definitely
go.
enough. Uh, Now that it's kind of been pointed out, you kind of notice that Ezra is kind of just buzzing about a little slower than usual, and you get the feeling that Ezra might be like slightly sick or something of that nature.
Hmm. Uh, oh, I hadn't even noticed. Ezra, you doing all right, buddy?
Uh, what would a
I'll
bee do to convey emotion? Uh,
dance.
yeah. There is I think Flynn would be familiar with like the dancing of Ezra to denote
Mhm.
different like emotions and stuff. Uh, I think the vibe you get is like uh, uh, more like a kinda. I'm all right, but not an energetic yes.
Mm. All right. He says he's doing all right. Maybe feeling a little bit under the weather. I'll keep tracks on him. I heard that uh some of the other companions at Avon and that were feeling a little bit ill this morning. Nothing crazy. Um, maybe it's probably just traveling for a long time.
I want you to roll another knowledge check for me, please.
I could damn, okay.
This is going to be
Bad
a
thing,
difficulty of
anything? Or
5.
okay,
Yeah, you can add your magic
magic.
dice to this one.
Oh well. 9.
Cool. You heard a brief mention of something earlier in the day. You heard Braylon mention salt fires
Yeah.
in the kind of argument in the morning. As a wizard, uh, you know of various means to like kind of
Oh,
ward away spirits and stuff.
they don't like salt.
They don't like salt, and what a salt fire would be is effectively just burning salt.
Mm-hmm.
And the kind of fumes produced is not toxic to spirits, but it just is a really bad smell.
Um,
So you would think if there's like maybe something lingering, that
yeah.
might kind of be why Ezra's not doing great.
Uh, right, yeah. I'll now he's mentioned it, I'll like piece it together in my head. Right, of course. Well, Ezra's not doing too good because of your salt fires that were going on in the field. And I know you were having the bit of a argument discussion earlier about what you were doing with that field, but I'd at least for a
Ah,
while we're in the village. Maybe keep those salt fires to a minimum.
you don't need to worry about that. I won't be using salt in the in dealing with the field later. Uh,
All right,
I'm not
good.
really about that. If it's salt
Um,
fires, it's probably the Daynell
yeah,
used some a uh,
I heard,
a
I
week
overheard
ago.
Dana was getting a little bit too a little enthusiastic about it, to to put it lightly.
Yes, well, we had issues with some harmful spirits a while ago, and despite opposition, he went ahead and used them. So I'm assuming it's the remnants of that. Well, I will make sure to keep that to a minimum, but
I'll yeah, I might go and discuss it with Daynell. Personally, I still have quite a bit of work to do now, but I want to discuss it with him anyway for to maybe have permission to have a look around the field, see if we can spot anything. Because right now, mine and Ivan's working theory, I suppose, is that there's something spiritual going on there that's affecting people, and it might be worth checking it out just to see what's lingering in that field.
yes, of course. If you need any backing up, I'm your man. And it. I know people are hearty, but do swing by, and if you need a checkup or anything, or if anyone in the troop needs a checkup, you can swing by.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and thank you for your generosity.
Great. You'll see. What's Braylon kind of trail off in at that moment.
Okay. I'll snap back to work real quick and just reorganize. Make sure you put the tent up right. That goes there. The flap at the front goes that way round. And then I'll once everyone's kind of reorganized, I'll go off and find Ivan and Thandor and relay the like medicine-y people if they wanted to get checked out. And tell them what's going on because I know that they're kind of spirity people.
Cool. I'll actually say you probably reconvene when Milo and Thandor would be heading off to actually do the whole wood stuff. So
Oh yeah.
I'll say the four of you kind of link up at that point. Yeah.
Awesome.
So Thandor, Milo, you are heading off to speak with carpenters, etc. etc. to get wood, and then
Yeah.
Ivan and Flynn as you guys. Actually, what is Ivan doing as he leaves the inn?
I think Ivan is probably going. He might head to Braylon's, just to check on the three like sick people. Because he has a bit of an idea.
Cool. So I'll say that you head
so
to Braylon's while the other three kind of link up. So I will. Actually, we'll go with what Flynn is saying to Thandor, and then I'll go back to you after that.
Well, once I link up with them, I'll be like, howdy, folks. How's the search for your wood been going?
We're just on our way to go see the carpenter, Ethan Woodman. I believe
Ethan Woodman.
that's his name.
That's a convenient name.
That's how
Well, you
names are
see-
made.
Yeah,
My
you
parents
have
were
nice.
glass workers. Their names were Glazier.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Ethan Woodman, his father before his father before his father before his father. Long,
they're
long, long lineage of wood. Big long wood.
they got a family full of longwood. Impressive.
Yeah, runs in the family.
All right, well, I'll let you get back to that, but Thandor, if you're heading off, I've been feeling a little under the weather. There is the town like a healer, I suppose. You can go see her if you're still feeling a bit bad, but it's likely because of all the salt fires that have been going on in the field. So you're probably not feeling too good because the air ain't too good right now.
I see. Well,
It,
thank
as
you
long
for
as
that.
they don't burn anymore, it should be all right. It just might take a day or two for the air to clear up fully. Um, so just be especially careful around the field. You don't want to inhale any gases that may be bad for you.
Why, thank you. And how's the stage going?
Good, yeah, decent. they're getting set up all right. Everyone's doing as they're instructed. It's going quite smoothly.
Splendid. I knew I could trust you.
Yeah, thank you. I'll leave you getting back to your wood, working with your wood, with each other.
Greatly appreciate
Thank you, thank you.
Cool.
Alright.
Karen, do you need to take a break?
I will at some
Time.
point be called for dinner, and as such, I will need to go and eat that with my family and then return.
Cool.
But
Okay.
I have not yet been told that it is.
You should bring us
No,
to
I
eat with
have
your
now been
family.
told. Okay.
Oh,
Your family can guest voice NPCs. They could be Ethan Woodman and his family.
yeah, exactly.
Wait. Okay, well,
Okay.
I'll be
Break.
right back
I mean,
then if we're going on a
Like
break.
20, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Do you need to?
Doesn't
do you
Elliot
need
have to go at 7
are
as
you
well?
going now, or are
You
you?
don't have to.
Going now, yeah.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. Then we'll take a small break, and then we will reconvene.
It's bird.
Alright.
Wait.
Goodbye.
Bye.